Yo, 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 what's going on, fam? Finally, we are back. Like a Cadillac. Oh, it's good to be with my familia again. Man, it's gonna be good. Good night. It is gonna be a good night. There we go. Nice. Hope I don't have anything else playing. I don't think I do. We down. Solid, mates. What's up, Tunes? What's up, man? Khalid, what's up? Isaac, what's up? All right. We got the jams going. Let us get some announcy pouncies. And we're going to get underway. Whoa. Nope. Audio should be working. On my end, at least. I don't think we've done any drops yet. Hopefully we don't. Ooh, look at that, man. Getting some updates here in real time. I can't wait to go through this. Man, we got a great show for you guys tonight, man. I've been working, obviously, a huge shout out, man, to Drewski over on 509 playing with I. It's been, man, such a pleasure. We've been working on the sheet that he was updating for me, and we got a bunch of updated stats all ready to go for all of the, I think it was about 370 kingdoms or so that are in the G2 pool. So we're going to be going over all of that today. We got to update some realm migration scores, and then we're going to start going through and looking at all the kingdoms that are in the pool right now and giving you guys some kind of early look data. And then we'll probably go through maybe the top kingdoms so far just to kind of see who's registering or not. I don't know if we're going to go through everyone right now because, again, like we did before, most of it is usually just going to be the A's and B's. Or at least the projected A's and B's. I believe that's what we kind of did last time. And we might have dove a little bit into some C's and D's, so we'll see how that plays out. Well, let's do this here. Working on nice. Yeah, man, it should be good. I'm pretty excited. I am pretty excited. Look at that, man. We got 10 registrations so far. Hey, sweetie.
Cheese.
She's in here. All right. This one. Okay, you gonna go eat your food? Ooh, 14 registrations so far. What's that? Let's not do that, sweetie. Thank you. Ooh, we gotta fix stuff. She's breaking everything. Muji, what's up, man? No. Oh, hang on. Let's take our shoes off. We don't need those ones. Let me see. Okay, there you go. Yeah, we'll be we're just finishing getting some stuff set up, and then as per usual, just getting some promos down. We're watching the real-time registration tracker, but we're gonna be showing some stuff off here in a bit. Abood, what's up, man? Not that. Thank you. Not that. Okay, do you want to go out? Okay. Thank you. Let's behave then. You can go on that. Yeah. That's fine. Just not that loud. Going good though. Going good though, man. Jeez, 19 have already registered in the first 10 minutes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. True Stevens, what's up, man? Welcome, welcome. Apucho's good, bro. Miss being streams, been busy. I know, man. I've been way too busy. Way too busy these past couple weeks. So I'm hoping this will be the start of this will be the start, right, of hopefully a little bit more of a consistent streaming schedule. Again, probably won't be every day, but at least a little bit more frequent is my hope. So we're gonna kick things off right. And Abood, you're right, man. That's the interesting thing. YSS has made their way to G2. So there you go. There you go, right there. Yep. Thank you. And I think that's in and of itself a lovely piece of fantastic news. So it's going to be really curious to see how they look, especially now and then going into registration closing, comparing them against some of the other top dogs, because they're definitely up there right now. Yeah. Drewski, there's the homie. The Drew. Yeah, man, we will be showing off some of his fantastic creations soon. Here you go.
No.
Oh, we're here to do something else. Let me see.
No.
Hang on.
No.
There you go. You are all right, kiddo.
Yes. Baby shark, choo-choo.
Salud. Sure, thanks for sneezing on my phone. I appreciate you. Abood says, people have been saying they'll come to G2 for 5 seasons, but finally it happened. I mean, yeah, man. And the thing is, I can understand to a degree if, you have... I can understand, like, if you have some people who basically want to... If you got some people who want to play it a little... I don't know if the right word is saying easier, right? Because we know that there's some kingdoms who feel the need to kind of hop out of G2, whether it's rebuild, build up, refine, and then come back to G2. My whole thing has been, I never understood that logic. And the main reason is because if you're in essentially what is the largest pool, here you go, sweetie, right? Regardless of what your status is, you are still going to find better matchups based on where you currently are, and meaning that you have a higher percentage chance of doing so, right? When you hop out of the pool and you go into another one, yes, you can argue that maybe you'd be the top dog there, which again, we know some people that have left G2 for that to happen, right? So there is precedent and historical references that where we've seen these things happening. And you have kingdoms that have opted out of G2 because they want to go to G3 or G4 or maybe go back to G1, and they get easier matchups. We know this has happened. Now, this doesn't mean that everyone is doing that or everyone that opts out of G2 has that approach or that mindset. But some kingdoms have done this. And we know that they've gotten easier matchups because I've tracked some of the data for some of those other G pools earlier on in the game's life. And so you can just imagine some of them are doing that. That, I think, is where it gets a little iffy, right? And it's the same thing. And now, I could understand as well, maybe even before some of the newer migration tools and some of the other things that they've put into the game now that do make some things easier to do, easier to trim, easier to remove the fat in your kingdom, right? Any kind of dead weight as an example, right? So some of those things are becoming easier now, absolutely, compared to what they were. Hang on, wait. All right, there you go. Right, compared to what they were before. So, yeah, it's just, I don't know. My whole thing is like, you know, you're going to end up getting matched anyways, closer to where you're at. The only reason you would opt out would arguably be because maybe you just want to have easier seasons, but easier, i.e., in most cases, usually means either you stomping or raffle stomping other people, and it's, you know, or you being the top dog or having an advantage in some regard. You know, I'm sure there, and again, it's not to say everyone, there have been some lower ranked kingdoms that have opted out just because they don't want to be a part of the pool, or maybe they're just getting matched higher, right, based on where they currently are. But like I said, I think some of those things obviously have become easier as time has gone on. So let's, oh wait, what did I want to do real quick? Because, okay, so we got this set up. Okay, we got the sheet set up. We'll be showing that off in a moment. And I think I also have, I got the other thing too from Drewski. Ooh, the graph. That's what I wanted to pull out, that graph thing. Ooh, man, I'm pretty excited to show this off too. Because I can at least show that off a little bit, but I gotta let it load up. Oh, that's too loud. Right there, thank you. Okay, here, you wanna go watch it? Oops. Oh. No, that's okay. You wanna go up here? Here, go watch on the couch. You can go watch on the couch then. Go ahead, you take it. I still love you. What are you doing?
No.
Okay, then not that loud. If you want to turn it up, then you go sit on the couch. Girl, why are you blowing on my face? Oh my gosh. Where we at? Hang on, let me see. Okay. That's okay. Here, you can go up one more, but go this way. Okay, go this way. Thank you. I appreciate your contribution to the team and to the stream. Thank you. Okay. So I think we're good on stuff that we have. Ooh, that's what I wanted to look up real quick. I have this over here. Okay. We got top 300 power. Yeah, we got to sort that real quick. Solid. Doobie Poo, what's up, baby? I saw you. I saw you hop in. I see you hop in, baby girl. Let's see here. All right, we're gonna sort this real quick. I want to go with D. I can do that. Ooh. All right. Connection to civilization and, you know, beyond all other means. So, but that's cool. That's cool. I'll cry later. It's fun. I want to show you guys this. So this is pretty cool. Where am I at right now? 712. Okay, cool. Yeah, so let me show you guys this that I got. So this is what I'm showing you right now, man. This is a culmination. This is like a baby product that I had envisioned, and the homie Drewski was able to kind of put this into words for us, right? So not words, but into reality. So at the moment, right, this is kind of the updated KvK sheet that I'm really excited to show off. So everything on here, for the most part, is basically automated, right? So, which is the great thing about this. So like, as an example, right, like the kingdom on here, 712, just to kind of give you guys an idea. If I remove this, you'll notice that the lines next to it, right, on the row for 369 here, eliminate. If I put it back in, it auto updates. So this is, I cannot tell you how excited I am for having something like this, because it saves me so much time. And the great thing about this is that I only have to do it once, right? It's just initially upon, before registration starts, to put all the kingdom numbers in here, and everything auto updates. So basically we're porting in the scans that I get from Hero Scrolls, which again, from Ezio and Fuzzy over there. And Ezio was very kind to throw me one today about 7 hours ago. I think it was 6 or 7 hours ago. So we have a recent one from today that we're going to be showing off, which is everything here. And I'm going to sort everything so you guys can see top 300 power and everything as well, and kind of who the big dogs are. But you can see there's 368 kingdoms. Yeah, because there's one extra. So we have about 368 kingdoms right now that are in the G2 pool. And which I believe, I'd have to look at my previous records for I have here. I'm also updating this. That's why I removed my video today, because I ended up figuring out what my error was, sadly. But for those of you that are curious here, right, we have a couple references. So like I said, right, there's 368 kingdoms right now that are in the G2 pool. Out of those kingdoms, from the 368 that are in the current season, we have the season last, which was the one that just finished. There was 322 total kingdoms, just to give you an idea, right? So you have 46 more kingdoms that joined up this season from last season, which again, we also know that YSS and 357, right, one of the new kind of top 50 kingdoms, have come, or sorry, not top 50, but one of the top A-seed kingdoms in the game has came over, right, to the G2 pool. So there is a lot of, let's just say, general excitement, if you will, around G2 right now. Not only because of that, but obviously because the pool is so much larger and is the largest that it's ever been. So, and then just to give you an idea here on what it was 2 seasons ago, right? So it was 322 total kingdoms 2 seasons ago. They drop, 321 or 322 for one of these from my notes last season. This was 2 seasons ago, right? So it was about the same. There really wasn't a lot of change. But obviously we ended up having a certain amount, and you can see like previous was 210, 39, because those are the 2 seasons. So this was 3 seasons ago. There was about 249, almost 250 kingdoms 3 seasons ago. 2 seasons ago, around, I think it was 322. Same number. This was last season. But then this season, we get the jump, right? And now we're at 368. So again, to me, the fact that more people and more kingdoms are gravitating towards G2, I personally think it's great. I think this is one of those things that is very much long overdue. And as far as for them seeing, you know, kind of consistent growth and with decent sized numbers of people looking to make their way over. And I will always and continue to stand by what I've said and what I've always said, which is that the more kingdoms in a single pool, the better, because you have a higher percentage chance of getting more balanced and fair matchups overall, regardless if it's a team up system or not. And then the second piece, which for me is why I'm so excited about this particular season, is because of the fact that everyone at the moment is only going in only has one storyline to choose from. Regardless if you like the storyline or not, that's probably a different conversation. But the fact is that because they've done this, there's going to be less isolation, right? There's less segmentation or segmented groups that will be created from having two or more storylines. And what have we seen happening over the past couple seasons where there's been two or more choices? Well, you've had some of the top kingdoms. Last season was probably the best one. Last season, maybe 2 seasons ago, were probably the best ones, where we had the least amount of top kingdoms within the top 25 and top 30 end up going to a different storyline. Even though there was still a very small amount that was closer to that bubble, these numbers were only increased as we continued to go further back, right, from previous and historical seasons. So for me, that's something I'm absolutely looking forward to. And that's the thing, man, is like not everyone's going to like, let's just be honest, not everyone's going to like Dragonfall. Not everyone's going to like one season over another. But my hope is that people will at least recognize that when you have everyone that can only sign up for one season, you have, on top of that, now a higher percentage chance of getting, as we said, those more balanced and fair matchups, right? Where you have closer competitors that are not, just wildly way above you or way below you, right? Depending on where you're at. So for me, that's something I'm absolutely looking forward to seeing. Okay, let me go ahead and sort this so you guys can take a look, because I know I've been kind of doing a little ramble here for a minute. Dude, what's up, man? So we just signed up 110. It's nice, only one choice. Absolutely, man. Fried chicken, dude, thank you so much for joining, man, signing up. I see you're in for a single, man. I appreciate that on the membership. Thank you. Garavel, what's up, man? Thank you so much, dude, coming in for a nickel, man. I appreciate that. Gravel says, what seed do you think 540 will be? We'll take a look. Grav, also, man, thank you for the dono, man. I appreciate that. You didn't have to do that. I'm always happy to answer any questions, but I still appreciate the love, man. Thank you so much. Too loose for the goose. What's up, baby? Always good to see you. Flaming, what's up, man? Well, 368 was planning on updating all AB daily. Wonder how many that'll be. Yeah, they just need to combine all the pools. Absolutely, man. 540 will be Teen Who Moves It. What's up, man? Welcome. Okay. Let's go ahead and let me scroll up and then we'll do a little assortment here for you guys, for the people that have been so kind. Dude says, I wouldn't mind different scenarios if there was significantly more people playing the game, more kingdoms, but there just isn't enough. Yeah. And like I said before, like I'm okay with them rotating. Like I'm fine with them rotating the storyline so you kind of get a different one each season. I mean, I think with the shortened length of KvK, of how long a KvK season is now, right? I mean, what they've done 3, I know at least 2 to 3, I'll say, duration, season length reductions already. So it's like, at this point, that's an option too as well. You just rotate the storylines and then you're good at that point, right? As one option. Or the other option is that you let people vote, right? Why not let the kings and queens vote on what storyline everyone wants to go in? Now, yeah, there is the chance that you might have a little less variety in that sense, right? If people just keep opting and voting for the same season over and over. Now, you could potentially put some restrictions in there where you say, like, okay, you just can't vote for the same season twice, right? That could be something simple. But that could be an option where you let kings and queens vote if they're in, like, A and B kingdoms. Or maybe you keep it up to everyone that has a king or queen in it. Like I said, I think there are some options. Okay. Let me go ahead and let's do a quick, because I got to go through and pull realm migration score data too as well. So I might do that. Well, no, maybe we'll sort and just go through registration, and then we can pull RMS scores from the top down. That actually might be a better way of doing it now that I'm thinking about it. Because I don't know if I'm going to want to pull RMSs for everyone, right? We're only going to really want to do it for the A's and B's, so it's probably better for me to go top down based on power. Yeah. now that I'm really thinking about it. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Dude says, BN next season should be their new map. Should be, yeah. Okay. I hope so. I mean, again, man, they've been preaching it. So now it's just a matter of waiting until we end up getting that. Oh, absolutely, man. That's my hope, is that we'll end up getting, and like I said, but do next season, that map should absolutely be a lot better, right? Based on everything that's been said and everything that they've been promoting on it, right? Which is supposed to be like whatever the way they're making it seem is like the most PvP competitive and balanced map that kind of incorporates hopefully more of what people want to see. So I hope so. Hands down, I do. Chicken says, do you think you'll get greatest height skins for $5 if you select readjustment? I'm not sure on that one. I think Doom or another would probably know that a little bit better than me. Bram, what's up, man? Everything will be better than SOS 6. Yeah, I mean, oh. The thing I'll say about this, man, for like age of duality, before I update this, because I'm going to do it in a sec here, is I didn't think age of duality was like god awful by any means. I think the problem is that the potential was there. I think it was just the implementation, really, and how they did the portals and the restrictions on them, and then, you know, just the amount of walking and the duration and how long the fights were lasting, and the fact that you just have to use, you know, so many shells as well. Like, you basically had to come into that KvK, and we talked about this before the KvK started, because if some of you remember, I was doing a live stream showing off the KvK, the new season. And when we were doing this, who did we hear from? Remember, I went and we spoke to some of the kings and queens that were in the G1 pool that started out in the new Age of Duality season first, and we went to go ask them some questions, like on how the duplicate artifacts worked and some other things as well. And then we also asked them, like, hey, how did you guys prep? And one of the consistent things a couple of the kings and queens said at that time was like, yeah, man, like, you need to come in with multiple shells. And it was just this idea of, for me personally, I just don't think that's the way that the developers intended for the game to be played. It's definitely not something that I necessarily would like to see. You know, like, I can understand if you have multiple shells because you have that total amount of active players and more so active fighters in the kingdom, where you need to utilize 2 or more shells because you have to fill them up with active player base. But if you're just having to prep and come in with a bunch of shells, like, I just think the idea and how exacerbated that was in that AOD season, that's really what kind of got to me on. It just kind of rubs you the wrong way. Like, I get it, man. That's what it is. Kingdoms have to prep, so they're going to do what they need to do, right, to be in the best potential situation and position for themselves in that upcoming KvK. But I just really hope that they can do something where that isn't as dependent. And I think for me, that was one of the big things. You know, it's like, what did someone say? Someone said, I think in one of the streams or videos, because I covered this on the amount of shells as well, and someone said, oh yeah, now the game is becoming Call of Shells. It's just, which, I mean, that seems to be the case now, right? It's Call of whatever the pain point is at that point. And you're just thinking to yourself, man, why? Like, back in the day, it used to be Call of Barricades. Then it was Call of Turrets. Which, to be fair, I mean, let's be real, man. Bring back the barricades. Just limit them. I really liked the barricade just because of the fact that it was this on-field structure you could build that had this CC effect applied to it. But it was just the fact that there was just too many. Like, people were just spamming them. Same thing they did with turrets. And it was just like, man, like, just limit it. Like the same thing they did when people were layering towers back in the day, and then they ended up having to do the adjustment to fix. So I think they did 2 of them. So that way you're not just, stacking them like you're building out a Rubik's Cube or playing Sudoku. Just nuts. Absolutely wild. All right, let's go ahead and show this off. You guys have been patient long enough. Long enough. Yeah. Friday says, if you let people vote, Jason from TFS will vote no on everything. Well, damn. Well, damn. All right, let's sort this piece out. I think I should be good to sort on this. I think. Oh, cool, that worked. All right, so here you go. Here you go. For those of you here, you get a first look at it. And again, we're going to do a couple different sorts here so we can look at it. This is preliminary. So I'm going to do another one of these once... we're going to do another one of these once registration finishes, and I'll do another one of these after Brink of War finishes. So these are basically your top 20 at the moment. And again, we'll go down the list here in a bit too as well. So we can show you. I wonder where are we right now? Give me a second. I just want to look. So, yeah. So look, you can see here, this is at 368. It's just like, look how low the power is right at that. Like, to me, it's just like these kingdoms, I wish they would just do more merges, you know, and or something else. But because man, we're going to have a conversation about the merges too as well. But I do think they might need to do something else to a degree. But this is the bubble. These are the bubble positions right now. Yeah, so we got... So there's 316... Sorry, 316 kingdoms at 1 bill power, right? Just so you understand. So 368 kingdoms in the game, in the pool. There's 52 kingdoms that are below 1 bill power. Just for context. If we work our way up, and you're looking at 2 bill, and keep in mind, this is top 300 power, subtracting, not accounting for 15 mil and below accounts, right? So farms. I should say low farms. That's probably a better way of putting that. But this data was pulled today, right? So this is fresh, pulled, I think 6 hours ago. Right, you got 272 kingdoms. The top 272 at 2 bill, right? But you're at 368, right? So you're at, what is that? 68, 96? Right? Yeah. 96. Yeah. 96 kingdoms in the pool. Sorry, 95 kingdoms are below 2 bill power. 95 kingdoms out of 368 are below 2 bill power. Isn't that just slightly a little nuts? Like, is it just me? That seems a little nuts to me. Let's see for 3 bill. So there you go. Top 242. Yeah. Halunky, what's up, man? Welcome. What's up, Ian? Who pulled the data from the video today? Oh, hello. Sorry, if you're talking about the video I privated. So no. Again, I found where the error was in that. I'm gonna re-release that video. That's why I privated it. I don't know how it happened, but I basically went to re-look at the stuff again, and I figured out what happened basically. So that's why I took that down. I'm gonna redo that video so I can make sure that I'm putting out the accurate information. Most people know I'm not, and I talk about this as well, right? If I put something out and it's not, accurate to the numbers, and I can catch it relatively quickly, or at any point I should say, right? I'll take it down and I'll repost. I have no problem doing that. So, but yeah, I was able to kind of figure out what I needed to do. So I'll probably, I might not upload it tonight, but worst case, it'll be tomorrow on it. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, let's see. 4 bill. Hi. Where's my phone? Oh, this kid. Okay, so 212 kingdoms at 4 bill and above, which again, we're at 368, right? So it's 213. What is that, 155? So that's 155 kingdoms that are below 4 billion power. I mean, that's pretty nuts. That's a lot. What? Oh, you do? Okay. Yeah, go watch. You can go watch. What's wrong with your nose? Let me see. Okay, good job. You're a lot better now. I believe in you. Okay. What? Yeah, let's leave everything. Thank you, killer. Why is your nose still like that? Let me see. Okay, you're good.
Hiccup.
Yeah. Huh? Oh, my bad. Yo, did I not post to the right channel, Tiny? My fault. Hold up now. Total accident if that was the case. Did I? I don't know. Hang on. I need to find the Discord now. Jeez, hang on. Let me correct myself if I did. Or I must have. Give me a sec here. That was not intentional. I'll say that. Let me delete. There we go. Yeah, I'm just like flooding that for no reason. Jeez. There we go. Okay, we're good. Hey, let me see it. Thank you. Thank you, sweetie. Let's leave. Thank you. Oh, you want to come? Okay. What can you say? Can you pick me up? Yeah, there we go. Okay, I mean that kind of works. We'll see. So, all right, let's work our way up here a little bit more. Oh yeah, let me get that. Thanks.
No.
Thank you. There, go watch. All right, if you're gonna act that way, then you can go up, please. So let's not do that. Thank you. What do you want? Here. Oh, you want this? Okay, what do you want?
No.
You want to know? What do you want? You want that one? Let me see if this. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's see. Shrink, what's up, man? Go for 13. Doom, a full baker's dozen. Yeah. Let's see. Doom 110 has 9 shells, 7 fully built shells, and 2 farm shells. It's ridiculous. It's so tedious. Dude, his barricades can be balanced. I didn't even really try. Yeah, I mean, I do definitely somewhat agree there on that front. Which it just makes you wonder. It's like how much effort, right, at that point was really put in to the barricades. Because if you remember, they released barricades, but I don't even know if they ever really even did a real update to them, a real adjustment or quality of life improvement to them at the time. So, Lisa, what's up, man? The artifacts worked nicer than I expected. Yeah, a lot of people really did like the artifacts from Age of Duality, at least on some of the feedback I heard from. Here, do this.
No.
No? Okay. No. Okay. Well, not that one, sweetie.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Everything. But go like this, you know.
No.
Yeah, right. Merge. Sorry, Flint. Yeah, man. Merge them all, please. Fried call bastions. Yeah. Fried says if this KvK isn't. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Let me work my way. Apologies here. Where were we at? 5 bill. Let's go to 6. So look at that. We got 170, and we were at 368. So that's 198 kingdoms that are below 6 bill power. Ain't that nuts, man? Yeah. And then you're at 150. That's 218. 218 kingdoms are below 7 bill power, right? And then what, 123, what's that? 250, 245? 245 kingdoms below 8 bill power. And then, oops. There we go. Thank you, sweetie. And then we get, what, 101. So that's, what, 268, 267? 267 kingdoms that are below 9 bill power. And then you got 78. So you're at, geez, what's that, 290? 290 kingdoms below 10 bill. It's a lot. It's just a lot. All right, let's work our way. We'll work our way up from 10 bill, so you guys can take a look at some other groups. Look, there's Tiny. You're 66, Tiny. That's where you rank. At least it's the same number. Fried chicken, if this KvK isn't significantly better for most players, I worry that they'll lose the last few remaining OG players that started this game. So I hope they get this one right. Yeah. I mean, I think there's more likely of a chance of that happening once the new season starts. Or sorry, the new map is released. But I do think that this season generally should be better compared to some of the previous ones. And that's mainly because of the fact of, like I said, I think the two things. One, the G2 pool size saw growth, decent growth, in more kingdoms joining, right? There was a total of, I think, 44. I think we said, what did we say, 44, 42 kingdoms that joined. Or sorry, 367, so 45. Yeah, there's 45 kingdoms that joined this season from previous seasons, so that's number one. Number two is they made it so you have to register. Everyone has to register for the same season if they want to play or skip. And I don't necessarily know if you're going to have a large number of people that are willing to skip right at that point. So yeah, I don't think that's likely at that point. So oh, is that you crying? So yeah, so I think those two things are definitely going to play in this season's favor. And that's not to say that I think this season will be the best season out of them all, but I do think this season has some potential, right, to be better than some of the previous seasons, absolutely. All right, where was I? 40? Yeah, we'll do that.
Mommy.
What is it? Oh, who's that? Oh, it's Sophie. I see. Yeah. Streak says, merge the top 20 and watch the madness. that'd be pretty sick. Oh my gosh, on a note of that, what is it? I see it's Evelyn. So on the note of that, of what you're just saying there, Merge, is wouldn't it be interesting if they took like the top 4 kingdoms and put them into like some battle, like some free-for-all, individual, every man for themselves kind of like KvK variation or something? Yeah, go like this, go like that, so you can look. See, like this, like that. Like that, see, hang on. Look, go like that. See?
No.
What is it? Okay, sure, why not? But yeah, wouldn't it be dope, though, if you had something like that was set up, where you took like the top 4, top 5 kingdoms and you say, look, let's just put them into like a KvK, but it's individual, every man for themselves. And like whether they did it individual kingdoms and it was like a true free-for-all. But the thing is you'd probably have to do it off like a point system or something, right? If you did like a true free-for-all, it would be interesting if they, and I'm not saying that's to be a part of the standard KvK cycle, but could be, I guess could be maybe like a different KvK storyline. And obviously people would either maybe have to opt into it or maybe it's separate from there and people would have to like sign up to do it. But that would be interesting if they did it, but they put certain restrictions or rules in place that would make it so like you wouldn't just like team up with everyone, but like literally it's just you go in there and fight everyone. Why not? Ooh, what's that? That's the outdoor. Yeah.
Mommy,
what is it? Okay.
You went here.
Oh, I don't know. I guess that's from today. Oh, sure. Yep. All right. We'll go to top 20. Yeah. Loki says, merge them. Won't help. We'll just be temporary. Jeez. Dancing, what's up, man? Merge. Players finding dead servers for rebuilding would be mad. Yeah. Tanya, what is it? Mark. Who's in the top 30 rankings? Yeah. Yeah. Wuji, what's up, man? Show top 10 kingdoms, please. Want to see compared. Daddy Herc, what's up, man? What's the classification? What's the classification classes? So it's A, B, C, D, but we're not going to know that until. Sorry, it's not that one. Hang on. It's going to be this one. Let me see. So we'll figure out classification. Oh, wow. There's 49 kingdoms that are registered now. Oh, and they released the timeline. So it is every 2 days. So classification, we'll find out on the 27th. I'm going to try and stream then as well, if I can. That'll be, I think, Thursday evening at reset. So we'll be able to figure out who's classified with who. And then we get the team up phase that starts on the 1st. I'm going to try and stream that as well if I can. I don't know what day the 1st is. Sunday. So that would be Saturday evening. So yeah, so I'm gonna try and stream classification and then the team up phase as well. So we get that. That's good. That's my plan right now. So that'll be in 2 days on Thursday and then 2 more days on Saturday, right? And we'll try and stream around the same time, whether it's 7 or maybe a little bit before. That'll be what we're gonna shoot for. I should say that's the plan right now. Yeah. But yeah, and then we'll fill that in appropriately. Because I think who is it? Sorry, Drew's working on that. So Drew said he's gonna work on that for me, and try and see if we can get that updated. Oh, it's a camera. And we're gonna. I think he's gonna try and get that updated before the classification phase, so that way I can put those in once it's announced. So I think that's the hopeful plan there. Muzan says show top 10 MP. Yeah, we're gonna switch and show a couple different ones here in a sec. Absolutely. Raz, what's up, man? Hey, baby girl, how you doing? Tiny says I zoned out. I heard you chatting shite about I not even this guy. B2U, what's up, man? Welcome. Too many eye peeps. Tansy, what's up, man? This game is so dead. This guy. Well, kicked? Well, someone got kicked? Getting kicked from TFS is crazy. Tansy says I left. I thought that's what happened. Raz says I saw the leaks, don't hide. What? Howard, what's up, man? Welcome. Raz, don't try to rage, but you suck. Yeah. Uwu, what's up, man? Mod check. It's pretty unhinged in here from what I realize. Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's take a look at merits. So, who had highest merits last season? Let's look. All right, so here's our list. This is interesting. For YSS not being in the G2 pool, having the most amount of merits last season. Wild work there. Yeah, Mark, what's up, man? Since he just wasn't around to know he was kicked. Wait, what? Yeah, Moses says, please show us top merits power. Yeah, I got you. Drew says, work on what? Sorry, I wasn't listening. This guy. This guy. BTU lol, Tenzi wasn't invited to the new server, but he had already made the decision. BTU, he joined back this last season, was kicked again. Wait, what? Oh, hi.
Amir.
Oh, you can take a picture? Oh, thank you. Oh, good job. How long says Myth on top M over P? Yeah, man. Where's Myth?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we'll have to show that off in a sec. Lonnie, what's up, man? SCL, we on the map.
I see.
That was right, man. There we go. Not too shabby, not too shabby. Yeah. BTU always work on spreadsheet. Yeah, man. YSS, wait. There's Rez. Annis, what's up, man? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, so there was, let me see, how many kingdoms hit at least a bill merits? So 96 kingdoms hit at least a bill. And at least a bill merits.
Let's go.
And then we had, how many? 48 kingdoms out of the pool now, which is of 368 kingdoms, did at least 2 bill merits last season. And then we have 24 kingdoms did over 3 bill merits last season. Wow. 10 over 4, 5 over 5, and 2 over 6 and 1/7. Okay. Not bad. Marks, WAO not making it even into the top 10 is surprising, but could be good. Okay. Oh, here. Yep. Here we go. Huh? Okay. Yeah, we'll show right. So the RM over P rank for this is ranking based on your M over P, right? So we've talked about this before. This is basically your PvP activity rank. So if you want to compare this against something like this rank is based on top 300 power. So like if you're ever looking at the sheet and you want to be able to see, oh, well, this kingdom ranks 1 in power, but they ranked 7 in PvP activity percentage as an example, you'll be able to do that in kind of a quick view right across the board. Lonnie says, I just unlocked Exemplar, ready to get that going. Nice, man. Muzan says, OPB will be top 4. Okay, claims, man, claims. All right, let's look at M over P. Let's see where everyone is here on this one. All right, so this is from last season. And remember, this data is fresh, so it's taken after the season finished from the 24th. So here we go. That's pretty nuts, man. Myth numero uno at that 5.4 bill. Take that. Take that up your pipe and smoke it. Tiny says, damn, we trashed Disband. Yeah. I'm not sure where you guys are. We'll look. Well, I mean, keep in mind, some of these kingdoms are older and some of them are lower on power as well. So keep in mind, some of the percentages are also going to incorporate those kingdoms as well, right? We're not only looking at the top. So, right, we'll have to kind of work our way, but you can see some of them, right? Like an example, if you want to look for like top kingdoms, you would look at the lower numbers here on column A. So like 3, 4, right? So it would be like YSS. What is it? We'll play one. Oh, no, not that. Hang on. What are you looking at? How did you even get here? I have no idea. Oh, okay. Sure, why not? Yeah. Brimbo, what's up? Yeah. Yeah, man. Tony says, you grab this data after migrations once people leave and we bring in people who were sitting out of KvK. So that's the thing. Like I said, we have to wait until registration finishes, right? So registration is going to finish in 2 days. Once registration finishes, I will do another pool so we can see to account for any last minute migrations or anyone that migrates over the past 2 days, whether they're migrating in or people are leaving or getting kicked. Right? Ooh, look at that. Let me see. Okay, there you go. Oh, here, go like this. There you go. So, Tiny says, Howard, what's up, man? Myth number 1. Tiny says, not my point. You grab this after migrations once people leave and we bring in people who were sitting out of KvK. Yeah, either that or that was just a poor explanation post. I think I will go with the latter. But yeah, we've got to look for you guys. So based on this, right, Myth sitting at 1. Again, do we think that Myth is going to get matched with YSS? No, right? Not by any means. Same thing with 108, or sorry, with 540. They're not going to get matched, right, with the top people. So you kind of have to factor that in as well. But if we look at PvP activity percentage amongst some of the top, right, for some of the stronger kingdoms, you'd be looking at like 3. So it's, where are we? Let's do this. Hang on. Yeah. So you'd be looking at YSS 25.78%. You'd look at NXW in 375 at 22.5. You'd probably look at SCL, they're 5, right? 21% from 444. Even Milk, right? At 20, they're ranked 13, 21.7 bill. Maybe ACA 20.6, that's something there. 11 WAO. If you look at WAO, right, they rank 18 for M over P percentage, right? So again, I guess being out of the top 10 is right for Mark saying that. But you also get to see kind of who's in the top 20 going into the current season, right, for some of the top groups. Yeah, I mean, again, it is a little bit lower power, right? But But again, really good production. I mean, I don't think you can necessarily argue that. I mean, even average power isn't that bad for Myth. YSS, I mean, and that's interesting, right? Like YSS average power, isn't that a little coinky dink, right? Like average power for YSS, even though they're the third highest ranked, they're sitting at 101.5 mil. And then Myth is a little bit lower. I mean, obviously this is probably, I would argue, either, you know, maybe either a rebuild or they've done a lot of trimming at that point. But then you look at example of here, right? Like CFNC, they're 131. You look at Milk at 13, like that's interesting too as well, 145, right? You look at NXW, they're 106. I guess that's a little bit more in line, right? It's not too high. SCL's 120 though, and they rank 5 in power, right? And they're sitting at 25.7 billion. So that's interesting to see. Cat, what's up, man? Yo, what up? Welcome. So the C25 does not count farms, Merc. So basically like the top 300, the merits, kills, deaths, heals, CH25, average power, the merits and power, those all do not count or do not account for 15 mil accounts and below. So this one does not, if that helps. Yeah. Bacon, what's up, man? Many top kingdoms have close to 100 of CH25 farms, yeah. You're saying 60? $60 doesn't have, oh, sorry, what is this? Hang on, let me see here. Mark counts as 10, you guys. It does because 60 doesn't even have 120 people. So it's, keep in mind, it's not necessarily 120 people, it's how many accounts are CH25 and above 15 mil power. So I guess you'd have to look at, and here, let me see, I can actually check too as well. Let me see here. Let me see. I can check right now. Again, keep in mind, this is what I was told. I should state as well. But yeah, let me see. If not, I'll take a quick look. I can see. Because again, I know they just pulled this today. Let me check. And keep in mind, even if it is, I'll shoot them an update and just ask them if they can remove those for those categories. But let me see. I just loaded up my scout here for S60. Let me see. How many accounts are over 15 mil? So, okay, you might be right. There's 118 accounts over 15 mil. And what's the number? Okay. Hey, you might be right then. Where are we at 152? That's interesting. Because 152 is at 14.7. Oh, no. Hang on. It is right. Because it's also factoring in historical. I just checked one of the accounts lower. That current power is 14.7, but the historical is over 15. So, yes, it is accurate. Yeah. Oh, yes. And obviously what Tiny's saying, I mean, that goes without saying, is that it's accounting for all accounts in the kingdom, not just ones that are in the alliance. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I'll have to ask about the ghosts on that one, if that's what Tiny's explaining. I'll have to ask to see if that does account for it. I don't know if I've asked that of Fuzzy or Ezio to see if it does. I mean, I know Tiny's talked with a few of those people over there too as well. So, I mean, maybe it does. If so, I'll have to ask. Yeah. Okay. If it does, then I'll have to ask him if there's a way. I don't even know if there would be a way to where you can eliminate or remove that, where it doesn't account for that. I guess that'd be nice if it didn't, but I'd have to ask. Yeah. Ruben, what's up, man? Side note for funsies. What should have a look at SOS 24083. It's about to get unhinged. Okay. All right. Touche. Yeah. Shoot me a DM on that, please. Please, good sir. Gavin, what's up, man? Hey, OBN chat. Is this sheet public already? Not yet. So this one is, I have to talk to Drew on that because this one was intended for like a master, kind of a master sheet use. So I don't know if it's as simple as me just kind of copying it and then renaming the header as a public sheet and just making it view only. If it is that easy, then yes, I will be making it public probably after the classification phase. There's not necessarily a rush on it being made public at the moment, but I will try and make it public as soon as early as I'm able to, as long as there's not any difficulties or challenges. But I have to just check with Drew first. But as always, most of you know, I always make my KvK sheets public. In worst case, even if I'm not using this, I can just copy this over to a separate sheet if needed. So there's always a workaround or a backup there. So yeah, but the plan right now would be, regardless if I can use this sheet or another. Drew says I heard my name. I've been summoned. Yeah, no, I was just saying, Drew will have to let us know if we can use this sheet and I can copy it and make this sheet public for people, but we just put it on viewer, no access, or if, like I said, I just have to copy the information on the tab and then paste it onto a different sheet and make that public. It's probably one of the two, but I'll wait to hear from Drew if we're able to make this public in any regard. So I'll wait for him to let me know. But regardless, if we can or not, I'll be sure that the information does get public. So yeah. Because again, I that's one of the things I always do every KvK season, right? Is we always want to make the data publicly available, so that way people can look at it before especially before the team up phase. So my plan right now would probably be after classification is what I'd be looking at, because I at least I want to try and get a lot of the majority details filled in first before we do. Yeah. Yeah. Gavin, he said Drew 3 times. Yeah, man. Merc says, if anything, it should only grab what's counting towards migration score. Yeah, and like I said, maybe there's a way to do it. I don't know if Tiny has asked Fuzzy or Ezio or any of the guys over there. I have it on. I just wrote it down on my notes to ask to see if there's a way where they can exclude any of the ghost accounts. So I'm going to ask. And if there is a way, great. If not, then I'll just have to make sure there's a disclosure. So let me write this down. Ask if ghost accounts can be removed from data sheet when pulling off scan. Okay. All right, cool. I got it written down. Sweet. Yeah, got to make sure we have that saved. All right, let's look at, what are we looking at? M over P? Ooh, let me go down a little bit more, right? Didn't we say we got to find where Tiny is? So we got Wira on 18%. It's not bad, man. Look at that. 27 kingdoms over 18% and higher. 27. Wow, man. Dude, I wonder who's ever at 28 and below, but like mostly 28 has to just be at this point trash. I mean, it's just, it's super depressing. Oh, wow. Look at that. It's Illuminati and 509. Couldn't even make up 0.05% to get to 18. I mean, it's not even that much. Wow. Slightly disappointed, man. I'm going to be honest. I mean, the fact 28, I mean, really? God, I mean, I'm going to be honest. Those are the kind of numbers, man, that just call for an auto disband. More like an uninstall and just quit. I mean, it's despicable, man. Like, I don't know what's happening over there, but you guys got to get your shit together. Listen, I don't think I've ever considered saying this publicly, but this might be the moment where we finally consider voting in Raz. for new R5 founder, supreme war leader. I mean, we should just give him Audie's title and let him start running 509. I mean, then maybe we can make up 0.05%, don't you think? I mean, I'm appalled. God. I mean, I literally might go cry after this when I get off. What did Fry say? Tiny couldn't even send out Kuma one last time for the 0.05%. We would have if you did your data correctly. Bet to spending right now. Yeah, solid. Cat says he can't discredit Q. Yeah, no. Q can stay on as a consultant. Yeah. Drew says, "Oh hell yeah, give Razor fun. He can also be data lead." Gavin Q can stay. All right, good stuff, man. Tiny says, check your DMs. This is what happened when Raz got R5. Okay, hang on. Tiny says we could show. Raz says GG. Tiny says, you've been R5 less than an hour. How the F you retired? I quit. Yo, my man. Yo, that's a G move right there, man. You get R5 only to be like, look, I made it. I'm done now. You know what that reminds me of? Listen, I don't mean for this to be a hot take by any means, but you know what this screenshot reminds me of? This screenshot reminds me of Dark and EIS, where Dark said in his epic exit announcement, EIS has finally made it to #1, and then he quits. It's just like, I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. I don't know if anyone else is getting similar vibes on that. I absolutely am. That's the very first thing I thought of. Right, so that I'm immediately drawing some comparisons there. That's not bad. What do we got? 35 kingdoms, over 17%. Doomy Poo, what's up, man? What is RM? So RM over P, that's just rank. So this is like the rank. So if you see all the numbers are aligned. So this is just the rank for PvP activity. The idea being, as an example, if I want to say, well, look at MFD, right? They're ranked 20 in power, right? Because this rank goes off top 300 power. So I could say MFD's 20 in power and they rank 21 in PvP activity percentage. This allows for you to kind of get that little quick view. I like it. I like using it for that reason. Another example, NTS. They're #2 in power, but they ranked 32 in PvP activity percentage for the Gen 2 season. That, I think, is really interesting to look at. So yeah, hopefully that explains it. Gavin Lowe, I gave one of my Warlord R5 for about 3 hours and he lost his mind. Dude, that's nuts, man. You know what? Gavin, dude, honestly, oh my God, you know what? I should do a new series. You just gave me a great idea. I should do a new series where I connect with some of the top kingdoms and we put someone who's like very critical of the kingdom, or who like thinks that there's not a lot of things that go into managing, and we let them be R5 and King for a day. Not like you give them R5 and King, but you just tell everyone, hey, this person is R5 and King for the day. Direct all questions, direct all concerns to this person, just so they can see like how it is. And then I do a series where like we live stream it or something, and like they're in the call with me or something. That or you do it for the day, and then I interview them after, and I say, hey, how did it go? How was it? Wouldn't that be? But you let everyone know. I mean, that might be hard, but wouldn't that be interesting? Just to your point, because here's the thing. we all know, for those of us that have been in management, if you've been in R5, you've been in R4, you've been a department lead, you've been a member, an active participant, and contributor to a department or management in any capacity, even if you're not an official R4, R5, you know. And obviously, as you work your way up the hierarchy and the ladder there, you know even more how much goes into managing. Really, that does. But oftentimes, the players, as most of us know, it's a thankless job. And the players, some players, not all, some players, will openly criticize and will make your life more harder than it needs to be. It's probably an easier and nicer way of putting it. But wouldn't it be interesting if they had to go into a position like yours for a day, just so they could understand what really goes into it? That to me would be so fun to do as a series. I'd have to figure it out a little bit more, but that's the initial thought. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, my face isn't here or anything. You can just push it away. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I know. Love you too. No. Tulu's, be nice to NTS, my new family. Tulu says, be nice to NTS. I was throwing it out as an example. I didn't mean anything by it. I love marking those guys. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Halunk, 1 hour king or slave, and people need 2 weeks vacation. Yeah. Mark says, Cat says, yeah, hell no. Mark says it's easier to be an R5 than an R1. Interesting. I would definitely argue against that. But also it depends on in what capacity you mean. Ruben says, lol. Tulu says, I was king in GG for 45 minutes and a nervous wreck. Okay. Oh, touche, man. I love hearing the feedback for people that were once in management. They're like, nah, I'm going to get out. Kat says R1 is pleb life and best life. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Dude, isn't this nuts? When you look at this. Kingdom 703, 0.33 bill power. It's newer, of course. 0.05 bill merits. 15.55% of overpay. That's nuts. This is wild. Wild to see. Gavin says your NTS mark, yeah. Drew says I tried to get out of management. Tiny said no. Cat, you didn't try hard enough, yeah. Absolutely. Somebody pinging me? Let me see. Okay, nope. That was your mom. You didn't try hard enough. Dude, famous last words, man.
No.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what to do. Go ask Mia. Go ask Mia. Well, I don't know. Kat says there's ways to make it happen. Merc, king for 3 minutes cost me $20 in permits. Not doing that full time. Okay, that's another really good point. Great, another fantastic point there. Right? Now, obviously, you can share some of those costs with other people, when it comes to discharging, understandably so, and helping people leave. But yeah, I wonder how many kings, I really wonder how many kings and queens in how many kingdoms are usually forking that money over themselves versus doing a migration or a discharge pool. Right? Or bank of some sort. Where the king or queen is taking on more of that financial burden for covering more people to leave and be discharged versus being in a kingdom where people kind of share that and they pool money into a bank of sort to help with that. That would be interesting because I almost would imagine you would probably have more pressure put on the kingdom that is having one person who's mainly taking care of those things, right? Who's forking out money over and over again for people to get discharged and or to pay for someone else's discharge costs to have them migrate to them. Yeah. 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 Oh, my bad. Let me do this. Yeah, man. You offered Merc? Scam Tiny. He's not allowed. Gavin, can you scroll down to the kind of 10% reach and stuff? Well, yeah. No, I'm gonna work my way down there, Gavin. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm just going at a pace because I know some people might want to look at everything, and because the sheet isn't public yet, this way they don't have to like pause or anything. So I'm kind of hanging out just for a little bit at each portion. But yeah, we're gonna get down there for you. Cat got to keep the lawn clean. I don't even want to ask. Gavin says it's stupid. It costs money in the first place. So I actually will 100% agree there that I do not believe that it should cost money for you to have to discharge people. I can understand that it needs to cost money, or that it can cost money to purchase permits so you can leave, so you can have what you need to leave. But when it comes to discharging, yes, I agree wholeheartedly. That makes absolutely no sense to me. The only thing I can think of is that and again, this, regardless on how you feel about this, I'm not saying it's good or bad on the devs part, but the way that it visually looks is that the devs just want a piece of the action, right? Regardless on how you feel about that, that's objectively to me how it looks. It's like, I want a piece of the pie for every single person. It's like they're collecting like a free tax at that point, right? Yeah. I mean, do I think that should be in the game? No, I don't. I think that's pretty obvious for most people. I think if you polled people on hey, do we have to pay 25? I bet you would have an overwhelmingly resounding no. This should not be the case. But it is, sadly. Yeah. Gavin says, for those inactive people, get the tickets too. Explain how that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Thank you. Let me turn over here. We're the NVM. Yeah. Where was I? 110? There we go. Yeah. These are registered, yeah. Rage's M over P is low considering their power, yeah. Cat $20 ticket, yeah, plus permits, yep. Yeah, I'm completely insane. I spent around $300 to $400 total in like 2 years, so that's completely out of question for me. Mark, a free-to-play R5 not going to buy just for some inactive member, yeah. Yeah, I imagine in that particular situation, you probably would swap the R5, for someone who's like, if they're trying to stay true free-to-play and they just happen to be king or queen, you probably would swap it out at that point and then let them pay. No, there was, Mark. Snowman, who's over in FU, which I think is 40-something, I thought. I'll have to look. He is, with the exception of that, he spent just to get permits to leave. That was back when he was in the war. 47. Thank you, Sorrow. Yeah, Sorrow's also free to play. Oh yeah, I was blanking. I remembered 40s. I just didn't remember the number. But Snowman is, the only thing about him is that, like I said, this was back when he was in the war. Because for the OGs out there, Snowman, who was in the war, I think for a couple seasons, or however many it was, I should say. I know at least he was in there for one season. But he was free to play in the war back when NAF was still playing, and War was like the number one kingdom for multiple seasons, and the number one fighting kingdom for a while too as well. And there was the whole situation that went down with I did a video or two covering the situation with Snowman, but basically he had to leave. Some people were willing to buy some permits for him, but he also bought a couple. So yeah, and I think that's probably safe to say as well, Gavin. But yeah, so that's the only thing. So like, when Snowman, if he ever sends me free to play stuff, you know, I always put a little asterisk here by his name, and I always let people know, like, yeah, you know, he's on the list, but you know, he only had bought permits. He showed me the transactions too as well, because I asked him, I said, like, look, man, you gotta send me some receipts though, because you know, he really wanted to kind of still be able to kind of be on the list, even though he was only buying stuff for permits to leave because of his situation. So I always put a little asterisk next to his name when I cover him if he ever sends me stuff for when I cover top free-to-play players. Yeah. Was that 96? Okay. Here's some of the 10%. I know you said you wanted to look at too, Mark. Yeah. Calvin, what's up, man? Can we see where 452 is at? Yeah, absolutely. I'll do that. Let me hang out here for a sec, because I know someone was asking me to look at the 10%ers. So let me hang out here for a sec, then we'll do that. No. How long the permits you can just spend from a farm, but the money should get paid by the players who get discharged. Yeah. To reactivate the account and join a new kingdom. Yeah. Gavin says, I'm not free to play, but since Deco patch, basically. It's like post free to play clarity. Post decoration free to play clarity. Is that what it is? Yeah. Dude, that's so funny. That's so funny. Yeah. Kat says, free-to-play R5 probably isn't leading a huge kingdom to worry about the accounts per se either. Yeah, I think that's probably safe to say. Yeah, man. Sorrow 47, man. Snowman the goat. Absolutely, man. Lima, what's up, man? Yeah, permits were a lot harder to get back then. Yeah. Miguel, what's up, man? I is back on Beat Chat. What's up, man? Welcome, Miguel. Appreciate you hanging out. Chat, and it was more expensive. Yeah. Oh, Gavin, you said that was me, but we were at 12%. Okay. Yeah, now we're just kind of getting a little bit lower. Let me see. You said 452? I can tell. Yeah, we take a look. And if anyone has any requests as well, and you guys want to look at some stuff, I'm totally down. No worries. Here's 452. Where you at? 18. Boom. Yeah, I'll go back up here too as well for the M over P, and we're gonna look at a different. We'll do a different sorting here in a second. You're a wizard, BN. Cheers. You're welcome, man. Of course, anytime. Yeah, you know, to be fair, I'm pretty easy. I'm pretty easy when it comes to like any of the request stuff. Usually after I get through just showing the stuff that I want to show off. Mainly that's just for everyone that's tuning in, right? I don't necessarily want people to have to, you know, hang out for hours, right, to wait to see what they want to see. Of course, I always appreciate people that are hanging out, but I like to try and get through a lot of the main course in the beginning, and then totally open for any requests afterwards. As long as it's PG and platonic, because I like girls. Drew says, "Oh look, it's laws." That's so funny. I did wonder if someone was going to say that, because like anytime I see laws, I always think of Tiny and the crew there. Yeah, Mark. Now that I think of it, would it be a reason why there is not a lot of R5s? Oh, you're saying not a lot of R5s because they don't want to be in the position to have to spend? Because they don't. Yeah. Yeah. That would be interesting. That is an interesting line of thinking there, Mark. Absolutely. Doom says, headed out. Y'all have a good one. Later, Doom. Appreciate you hanging out with us, man. Thanks. Fried, bro, a half hour as R5 is exactly how long a healthy and mentally stable person retains that role before quitting. Yeah. Oh, God. That's good. That's sweet. Yep. That is nuts. I should put that on a bumper sticker, man. Kevin says, true chicken. Yeah. Kelvin, what's that? Much love, BN. I'm not sure if you did make a video of the results of Gen 2 KvK's winter summary, but I sure do love those types of videos, and preferably if there's drama mid and the KvK. Yeah. So I got to redo the video that I uploaded today, because that video that I uploaded today was... I ended up having some lower merit numbers in there for some of the individual players on some of the KvK groups. than I had intended. So, or not that I had intended, but that I thought was displaying correctly. And I went back and I looked at it again and I saw what happened. So I have to go through and correct that. I'm probably going to try and release that video tomorrow, but I don't know everyone that won. That's the thing that I said in the video, is because I didn't have a chance to look at the final zone before the KvK season ended. So I'm going to have to go and look at or reach out to some of the leads in the KvKs for the groups that I don't know who won. So I'll have to go and ask them just to see at the moment. Excuse me. So yeah. But if I do that, I'll do that in the second part. The video I'm going to try and release tomorrow will be covering the group performers. So it'll be, you know, the kingdoms, how they did on merits compared to each other, and then looking at the top 50 merit leaders in each group. So that's what I'm going to try and re-release tomorrow. And then if I do a part 2 of that, that will be who won each of the Gen 2 KvK groups. The thing is, on the drama part, I actually have quite a few drama / KvK like news storylines that I still haven't covered yet. I have them saved on my news sheet here, on my news spreadsheet for any of like my pipeline stuff. There's quite a few. I think I have like 4 or 5 stories still. I haven't had time to cover them because for the past couple of weeks, I've just been so busy just doing a lot of house stuff and obviously with the family as well. But if I get time to cover them before the new season, I will definitely try and do my best, because I've already done a decent bit of research too as well. And there's a bunch of other KvK disbands or kingdom disbands that I haven't even been able to cover. So there's a lot. Yeah. Gavin says, what if I'm a girl called Gavin? So Gavina? Well, we'll see, man. Gavina, I might make an exception for. Tran, what's up, man? Nice work, BN. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate love. Thanks. Green, what's up, man? Can I see 199, please? Sure. Where's 199? There you go. What is that? Packed? Oh, sorry. Kingdom. Sorry. One sec. There you go. Your OC? Nice. Yeah. Yeah, Mark. Also, any predictions for KvK1? Who's going to be in? Yeah, I don't mind making a too early. I'll say that a too early prediction. We could do that in a sec on who I think. In the last season, it was a surprise that NXW got in KvK1. Maybe this season will be something like this. Okay. J4, what's up, man? It's not good for mental health to be a solo R5. We need 3 to 5 to maintain sanity and happy members. Yeah. No, I could agree with that. I could agreed to that. Yeah. Oh, what's up? Oh, Ruben just hit me up on Discord. Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, Gen 3. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure on who that was, Ruben. Yeah. Finals in 4 days, nobody is locked out. Most of the lines are. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, man. Yeah, maybe we'll try. Maybe I'll try and cover that. Yeah. Yeah, man. Like I'll be honest. I haven't even had a chance to even just go through all of the because usually what I'll do is I'll do like these KvK updates where I'll look at. I'll go through like each of the KvK pools and kind of get updates on where they are in their state. So like, you know, are they which pass openings are they close to? What's coming up? And then also look at like, you know, which ones have the potential to maybe like stream some wars or, you know, pass opening fights, final zones, etc. But I haven't even had the time to like go through all the KvKs yet over the past couple weeks. Like that's how long it's been because I've been so busy. So, but yeah, hopefully I'll end up having a lot more time to do that recently. But man, I always appreciate some heads ups. Okay. Let's look at, what do we want to look at next? Maybe who's got the most deads? 2. Wow. Who's got the most deads? Damn, jeez. Angel, what's up? Could you make a video checking out the youngest kingdoms entering SOS right now? Like a ranking of future rising stars. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we kind of showed that off with the PvP activity rank. There was a number of younger kingdoms that had really good PvP activity, and we showed that off. And I'll talk about that. I'll continue talking about that as well when we do the live streams, along with if there's any video coverages or solo video coverages on that as well. But that's one metric to kind of talk about, again, like you're saying, some future rising stars. Because I think that if you're a younger kingdom and you're coming in with really good PvP activity from last season, that's at least one indicator. Doesn't mean it's going to tell the whole story, but I think it is a one good indicator on that front. What are you doing? Oh, you're looking at the apples. Okay. Yeah. Abraham, what's up, man? Y'all need to keep an eye out on 505. It is a scary server. Okay. I'll have to see on that. Do I have 505? Am I showing that here? Oh, no, yeah. Oh, they're not on this one right now. There we go. But look at that, dude. Deads. Oh my gosh. WBA, new #1 power right now, has 1.17 or 1.18 billion deads. I mean, that's something, man. If you got a lot of deads, you're willing to take deads. That's a lot. I mean, it's pretty nuts, man. Like, they're really above everyone else. Like, NXW, who's 2? NTS is down here. Dude, isn't that dope? I want to give a huge shout out, man, to NTS, because it is so nice to see them working their way up in power. I just want to point this out. I feel like NTS has been so consistent. Like, they've been one of the longest lasting kingdoms in the game, and they've also been one of the most consistent fighting kingdoms in the game for probably just as long. But they've never been, I don't know if they've ever been in the top 3 for like kingdom power. And so the fact to see them at #2 right now, I just want to say, man, it is nice. Because like, for me, I'm the type of person where, because I know a lot of NTS's history and a lot of what they've gone through, especially with all like the cheating and botting allegations that they had against them, right? So for me, again, dude, I think it's awesome to see NTS up there a little bit higher and being able to kind of show themselves out in more of the #1 KvKs as well. I mean, again, it's not like, you know, they necessarily had the best PvP activity percentage last season per se, right? Compared to what you probably would have come to expect of NTS, just from kind of knowing or hearing about them, I imagine, on an outside looking in. But hopefully, maybe they'll be able to redeem that, right, this upcoming season. So for me, at least, it's nice to see them higher up on the board. So, and if you're asking me, if there was like one alliance, I would say, just because I know a little bit more about them, if NTS ever became like the #1 kingdom and they were like consistently having like really good PvP activity seasons, I could see them almost being like the new #1 fighting kingdom if they might be able to work their way up to that eventually. And I'd be like, man, they could be like good successors to potentially Echo EIS. I don't know. I'm not saying right now, right? Maybe it would take 1 or 2 seasons, maybe the next season or the next 1 or 2 seasons for them to maybe kind of get to that point. But I think the potential's there. And again, that's probably more of a biased fan favorite for me, just because I know Mark and some of the people there in NTS. So, but it'd be cool. Yeah. Let me look. I want to look at CH25. Where are we at? Ooh, that's interesting to see. Hey, look, dude. Tiny and them are right back. Look at that. You guys are number 15 now for CH25. Isn't that nuts? Look at that. Yeah. Mark, we need more of those stars. Yeah. Gindam, what's up, man? What is it? What happened? Something happened? Well, maybe because you have 1,000 things open here on my phone. Have you ever thought to not have so many things open? That's an idea. There you go. See? No.
Apple.
Apple, good job. Scotty, what's up, man? I have a feeling top KvK maybe WB, NXW, and B seeds versus YSS and TSB seeds. Oh, interesting. Okay. Mark says inflation, maybe. Cat, the possibility of that is really going to depend on who is Paragon. Yeah, absolutely. Gindam says, by the way, for the team-based KvKs, is it manually done or mostly automatic? We got a sorry, you said we got a match we weren't really expecting, and 100 mil plus accounts seemed to be a big deciding factor. So if you're asking about the matchmaking portion, yes, that is automatic. So like the dev team is doing that. If you're asking about how the teams are, about how people figure out their teams, that is done manually, right? Because the kings and queens are the ones who are deciding that, right? Usually they're creating teams and other people are joining at that point. So that part is done manually. But again, if you're referring to the matchmaking, once the teams are decided and you're figuring out which teams are going to get matched up against who and put into their KvK group, that part is automatic. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah. Ruben, I'm sure, and with all the drama lately, so much cover. Yeah, man, it's a lot. Mark says, by the way, YSS got dark, a good war leader, which they lacked. I really think even if they are new, they're going to hold up their power. Dude, it's so funny that you say that, Mark. I did hear this, and I got sent some screenshots, finally, that confirmed, apparently, that Dark is back. And I'm going to cover this in a video, probably sometime this week. Yeah, whenever I get some time. So, because, yeah, I think the storyline's interesting, right? And you kind of alluded to that in a quick summary there, which is YSS coming into G2, Dark taking a break, coming back as a war lead, YSS getting power. There's a very good chance of them being in KvK 1. It's just like you got a couple angles that you can really speak to that from. So I think it's very interesting. Absolutely, I do. Yeah. Yeah. Kat says, ooh. Yeah, let me see some of these other ones here. Sorry, let me highlight that. It might be easier. I heard they have your builder helping them, Mark. Oh. Jag, what's up, man? Yo. NXW on top. Yeah, man. Get that love out there. Yeah. Gindam, what's up, man? Is this spreadsheet you're showing publicly available or just personal? So this is just private for now. I was saying this earlier in the stream, but I got to ask Drew. Drew already is aware of it, but I was saying that I have to ask Drew if I'm able to just copy this and make it like viewer only where like no one can download or anything off it. And if I can do that and make it public and then just like remove some tabs off the public one so it's only showing what we've done so far, or if I just have to copy this and paste it onto a brand new spreadsheet and then make that public. It's one of the two, but my short answer is yes, I will be making this public, whether it's this exact sheet or if it's a separate one. But I'm going to wait to make it public until classification. I want to wait until the classification phase has started because that's where we'll get to see who's A, B, C, and D. And then we'll be able, from there, you'll be able to have a better gauge on pairings, team ups. We can start doing more predictions. We can do predictions at that point a lot easier because we'll know. And we can also do like Paragon predictions. We did that last time. It just makes it easier, I think, to kind of do some of the mix and matching at that point. So that at the earliest, I'll say, I will make one available by classification. And again, if you're just joining us now and you're hanging out, again, we appreciate you. Like I said, we're going to try and stream if we can. As long as things are kind of done around the house and whatnot first, we are going to try and do that on Thursday and maybe Saturday. I got to check. I have to check with some important people in the household. But we're going to try because I know those are the next two really big dates that are happening. I know classification, and then obviously once the team up phase, people are going to absolutely want to know who's working with who, and then which kingdoms got what grades. Because we'll also find out, I think, during classification who got Paragon as well. So it's not just figuring out who got A, B, C, D, but we're going to figure out who got Paragon status for each of the class tiers. You know. Fried, what's up? And I'm curious to see how the new unnamed Echo in S60 compares to the new leaner TFS. Yeah, no, absolutely, man. That, I mean, again, we'll see, because a lot of those people are just heading over to Echo now, or back to 60, right? The X Echo peeps. So, you know, you think about, I mean, there might be enough time. They got, what, a week and a half, right? Because I think the KvK starts on, what is it, the 8th? Am I tripping? Hang on, let me see here. It's, what date does it start for the new season? It's going to start, what is there, 6 days, right? A Brink of War. So it's going to start on the 13th. So on March 13th. So they have 2.5 weeks until the new season starts. Yeah. I mean, is that going to be enough time for S60 and the new Echo peeps to kind of figure things out? I think so. I think that would give them enough time. Now, obviously, I think the thing with because a lot of the X Echo people are going back there, I think the expectation that they have had before, along with how they've gone about with playing in their own style and what they're accustomed to on the battlefield, in open field PvP, rally garrisons, these are things that I think a lot of them are almost going to feel like we're settling back in to what we know and what we're comfortable with and what we like to do. So part of me feels like the learning curve won't necessarily be that heavy on that front. I think it's going to be more on their leadership structure and their kind of KvK war leading structure. I think that's where they're going to have to figure those things out as a more important piece and dynamic because of just the new structure that they have in place. I think that will probably be the one thing I would imagine will take a little bit more of an effort on. But I definitely think it's going to be very possible for them to do it. So we'll see. Yeah, my builder mark. They have a name now. It's Milk. It's Milk. Yeah. Is it? Oh, okay. What does it stand for? You're right. Let me see. Hang on. I mean, I'm in there right now. I mean, is it? Okay, it is. So it's Milk, and the name is Milky Warriors. Okay. Is that the final name? Is that official? Is that because they're milking their opponents of merits? Is that like the deeper meaning there? Because they have Milk and then they have Milk, which is Wet Warriors for a shell. But is Milk Warriors or Milky Warriors, is that the final name? Is that your final answer? Or do they need to phone a friend? Yeah. Gundam, what's up? Okay, awesome. Yeah, man, of course. Jack, I feel like the new Echo Alliance should be named Turf to stick to landscaping theme now that they lost Sod. Dude, I like that. That would actually be really cool if it was like an homage, right? Like they were paying tribute to Sod, and I guess Tempe 2 as well. But like if they kind of stuck with that theme of landscaping, yeah, dude, that'd be so cool. I could see that. I could see that absolutely. J4, what was this? Antonio, what's up? Has there been any successful merge servers? When you say merge servers, are you referring to like the 2 merges they've done so far of like a lot of the low activity dead kingdoms? Is that what you mean? Mark, I don't know who's getting the new Echo project is screwed. Wait, what do you mean? J4, I missed 226M over P, wondering how we did versus MFD. They went solo and took Dragon. It was a little insane after Dragon opened. Yeah, we can take a look. We can take a look-see. 97. Yeah, I just wanted to see how that looked. Sorry, who was it? You said 226? Okay, so you're looking here. So you're going MFD, and you said 226, right? Boom. There you go. Antonio says yes. Okay. So out of the 2 merged kingdoms, so far, I believe they both have ended up the way that I had thought they would, along with what's been reported so far. Well, I should say one of them has, probably more specifically. One of the kingdoms I heard, I still have to go confirm this, but one of the merged servers I heard was basically killed off all like the active, semi-active accounts on there, and they basically treated it like a dead rebuild kingdom and ended up bringing in a bunch of strong accounts, and that's what happened for one of them. The other one ended up fighting a decent bit, and I don't know if they ended up the same way, but I know they fought a decent bit, and there's like a new, and there ended up being kind of a new kingdom, not kingdom, but new alliance that basically dominated Dragon and has that, but the kingdom is still low activity. I don't know if they brought new people in yet. Yeah, that's the latest update I have on those as of, I think, a few months ago. Mark says, CH25, does it count only the 15 mil above cities? Yes. It only counts the 15 mil above cities. Yeah. And the CH25 is that as well, but it counts historical. And from what Tiny was telling us earlier, it also counts any of the ghost cities that are not on the map either, that are above 15 mil. I don't know if there's a way to get around that. Again, I have a note down, and I'm going to ask Fuzzy and Ezio to see if there is a way to where maybe they could exclude those in the future. I don't know if Tiny has asked them that specifically. I know that's what he told me, though. Yeah. Yeah. Jack says, what do you think of the brand new Goblin? What do you mean? Am I tripping? Is having a massive blank? Excuse me. Yeah, where's YSS? Oh, yeah, they were lower. They were like 90 something, I think. Oh, no, here they are. For AP, they're 36th. They rank. Ooh, who wants to look at 50 mil merits? Here we go. Let's do that. Ooh, how about 10 mil plus merits? Let's do that. Let's look at 10 mil plus merits. There we go. So kingdoms that had a total amount of 10 mil plus merits. There we go. So for YSS, the average is 101 mil. Yes, that's right, Mark. Yeah. Does that mean they have more than 200 members? I don't know how many, right? So it'd be, keep in mind the CH25, like I said, so like this is 308. This is accounting for any account over 15 mil, whether they're on the map or not on the map, right? So the CH25 number probably for all the kingdoms is a little bit higher. It just depends on how much higher than it is. Something that's probably more accurate, I think, would be going off of like the 10 mil, right? So like if you hit 10 mil merits or like 80 mil plus power, that's probably a little bit more accurate when it comes to total active accounts that are in there, because I think it's less likely that you're going to have a lot of farm accounts above 80 mil compared to having more farm accounts above 15 mil, right? As an example. So if you're kind of looking for like a soft gauge on that, I would say probably looking at like those that are over 80 mil. And maybe what I need to do as well is ask if they can maybe raise this. So looking at maybe raise like the CH25 to something like, or sorry, raising the minimum to like maybe 50 mil plus, right? That might be something to consider, because obviously then there's going to be less accounts at that point, right? So the average power will probably be a little bit more accurate, maybe even a little bit higher too. No. So yes, something to look at, absolutely. Yeah, no, I think that's pretty accurate, Mark. I think the CH25, if you're really thinking about it, and if they're at like 30 bill power, but their average power is like 100 something, it's probably a little higher than that, just because it's also factoring in, like I said, all of the other accounts, whether it's on the map or not, that's above 15 mil. So I think something that would help that would be, at least if I raised the average power rule to something like only account for only do the average power for accounts like above 50 mil. I think that's something that would help. For the CH25s, maybe we do something like, if you're CH25 and you're at 50 mil or 40 mil and above, that could be maybe a rule there, where then the number becomes a little bit more accurate. But I'll have to ask Ezio and Fuzzy to see if that's something that could be possible. Because I do get what you're saying. Turtle, what's up, man? Is this G2? Do we have a G1 list? This is just G2 right now. I do have all the stuff for G1. I just haven't made a sheet for that yet. Yeah. And we are counting. They are counting that now, Mark. So all of these things do account for above 15 mil. Oh, sorry. You mean, yeah, above 15 to count. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, Turtle. So yeah, I haven't done one for G1. I can do one for G1. I could use this, the sheet that Drew put together, and we could do one for G1. I just haven't done it yet because I just got the data today, a fresh scan today for the 24th. We got this about 7 hours ago. Yeah. Yeah, so let's see 50 mil. We can look at 50 mil merits now. Let's do that. Well, there you go, man. YSS on top. Turtle, our KvK matchup is so uneven. Oh, are you in G1? Is that what you were asking that, Turtle? Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Look at that. Even the Echo peeps. It's not bad, man. They tie with YSS. That's pretty nuts. Oh, you said yeah? 698. Okay, cool. And then you got NXW, NTS. You only got 3 kingdoms over 20. 2 of them over 30 players had 50 mil merits last season. Wow. 15 kingdoms had over 10 players had 50 mil merits. Kingdom, it's turtles. Yeah. How about over 30 mil? Let me see where 30 mil is. I'm sorry, sweetie. It's not bad, dude. Look at that. Even the new Echo even comes in second there. A little bit more behind YSS, but yeah. Turtle, oh my god, a little high. Look at that. It's like, oh, I met a friend. Nice. Let's look at 100 mil power. How about that? Where are we at 100 mil power? So there you go. WBA. Wow, dude, clear lead on this. What's that, 23? Plus 23 on NTS? That's nuts. I mean, everyone else is pretty close. There's not really like a hard fall drop. They're there. Milk's at 112. And then what? NTS, YSS. Cat says, so the fact they're so close in number to YSS says the real story. Yeah, man. I mean, you got to think about it like this too. Echo or S60 basically did like the ultimate trimming maneuver too, if you really think about it. Basically everyone left, and then they just brought back the people that really wanted to come back. So it's like, I mean, you know, they basically took a season, took a season elsewhere, disbanded, trimmed, and then they came back, you know, leaner to an extent. I mean, they're probably in a better position now to build a deeper roster too. Let's look at 200 mil. How does it look at 200 mil? And apologies if I don't know if my face is in the way here on that one. Oh, I am. Hang on, let me skadoosh. Let me, 1 sec. Let me do this. I figured I probably would have been a little tight there, huh? There we go. I'll just move it. I'll move it around. Just for a sec. This will be easier. So you look at 200 mil, which again, this is probably a little bit more indicative now. And now it's Echo, one behind WB. Right, and then it's NTS. YSS ranks 4th on this. Echo's got 9 more. Yeah. But then if like you look at these numbers here at 250, right? And then 300. But so I wonder how the numbers look here if we go across, right? Like if we just know this is the 200 mil ranking. Right, oh, we don't need Kingdom. We could just do top 300 power, so it shows a little bit more. There you go. So if you're looking at this, then let me see if I can scoot this cam over a little bit. There we go. It's a little bit easier, I think. So looking at this off top, sorry, what did I say? 200 mil? So this is 200 mil rank. And you look at this, right? That's pretty nuts. So they're at, Echo's at 21.77 bill. And they have one less 200 mil player than WBA does. You look at them in merits, right? Echo ranks 11th in merits right now. Right? Out of the top 3 kingdoms that have the most amount of 200 mil plus players, they have the best PvP activity percentage out of the top 3. Yeah, I mean, if you go to top 5, then it's YSS is better than them. Right. It's like them and Ray. Look at that, dude. They have 145.96 average power. I mean, they're super lean when you look at that. Mark says, BN, you show too much. Now I'm thinking, dude, listen, man, it's, you gotta admit, man, it is so much fun. Hang on, sweetie. We'll do this for you. There you go. You got to imagine, man, it is so much fun looking at data and like really analyzing stuff. I love, this is like stuff I love the most. Yeah. Yeah. Kat says, so the fact that they're so close in number to YSS, yeah, real story, yeah. Mark, how many Krakens we have? Yeah, you can clearly see Echo, even with negative 14 bill, they're so close in merits, yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, WB got a lot of the BTX peeps. Not a lot, but a good amount, right? And others. So it's, you know, at this point, they're in a position. Yeah. I mean, you gotta think about it, man. They're basically BTX's power. Last season, they kind of became like the new BTX. Because NTS is the next closest in power. WBA has 5.2 billion more power than they do. Between 1 and 2, that's nuts. And if you look at YSS to NTS, this is more realistic. Right? This is 0.36, 0.37. Right? It's less than half a bill power between each other. Like, that's a lot better. I mean, sure, you get a little bit of drop off between 3 and 4. Right? And then you get another about a 2 bill drop off between 4 and 5, but still. It's just, yeah, man. When you look at it, and you really break it down, it's kind of nuts. Yeah. I think it's like, even if you look at the top, you look at the top 6, right? Echo and YSS, I mean, they got most 50 mil merit players. Yeah. I wonder where Echo would be in. Let me see. Okay, never mind. I was wondering if they might have been lower on power to where they could have been considered a BC. Yeah. Oh, guys, you know what we can do? We can go through, excuse me, which kingdoms have registered. We haven't even done that yet. Let's go down the list. Take a look, 249. We'll do that. That's something we can do. I didn't even think about that. That was kind of the whole point. All right. Yeah. Jay says, well, Shy, WB barely fought last season because they wiped Zone 2 in 3 days. Yeah, repeating the history. Yeah. FOMO, what's up, man? Who matchup do you think they can be WB in the next KvK? I mean, we'll see. I mean, who do I think? I mean, yeah, man, like maybe YSS. I think NXW. I think like some of these kingdoms that have like higher PvP activity percentage, I think there's a chance. I mean, if you're looking, you know, like you'd probably have to do something like maybe something like a 200 mil ranking, and then look at who's around there. So yeah, I probably would say, I think NTS, YSS, NXW, maybe, I don't know about SCL. I think some of those, but you got to also consider, if you're talking one-on-one is a little bit different than like team versus team. I think one-on-one, you're going to need, oh, sorry, sweetie. Oh, let me see. That one. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I think if you're talking one-on-one in the zone, there's a little bit more you have to consider, because you're going to need the power to not be too far apart, because you need to have, you know, a good amount of troops as well. You can't have such a significant decrease or difference in troops, right? So, and I think there's some other things you can consider. Those would be just some of my early guesses. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we can do registration. So 70 kingdoms have registered right now. How am I doing? How are we doing who registered? Let's do green. Cool. So WBA has registered at the moment. Oh, thank you for the sub, man. I appreciate that. That means a lot. Let's go to NTS. What are they? 49, I think. Sorry, brain fart. Evil says, stacking power to build massive kingdoms. People didn't learn anything. Guess time will tell at the end of the season. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, Kat. I mean, I don't think anybody wants to see it happen, right? NTS is not registered yet. All right. We're gonna check YSS. Kat says, look at their average power, though, BN. They're 145 mil average. Yeah. David, what's up, man? Huang, Project S60 success. I mean, we'll see. By the stats, WB could 1v1 everyone and win. Yeah. I mean, I do think some people would put up a fight. Absolutely. Kat says, WB loves Bastion play. Having a full roster and that much more power favors them long. Oh, well, also, if you look at their deads, right? I mean, like we showed that. They have like 300 mil or something more deads Yeah, I think it was NXW was the next closest at 882. I think it was. Or sorry, 884 WAL. But even that's like about 300 mil more, right? That's almost half more. That's more than a third of the deads that they were. So like you can clearly see they're willing to take deads, which again factors into the Bastion play, as some people have already pointed out. YSS has registered. That's good. I like that, man. Put that power and money where that mouth is. Got it, I mean. All right, where are we at? 375. Let's check them next. Yeah. FOMO, but the point is WB is with NXW. That's almost impossible to beat WB, yeah. Joe, what's up, man? Did I join WB at the wrong time or the right time? If you're in WB, I would say probably the right time. I think I would argue that, at least at the moment. NXW has not registered yet. I should say yet. Let's check 444. That's SCL. Mark says, yeah, WB loves Bastions. Maybe with this, they recruit the lost activity probably, yeah. Ryan Slacks, dude, thank you for joining the club, coming in for a single with a new membership, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, I actually, you know what's funny, man? I redid. Well, why are you hitting me? What did I do to you?
I'm sorry.
Oh, now you're giving me love? I'm telling you, man. Violent mood swings for the women in this household. Yeah. Yeah, so what's funny about that, dude, I redid all my membership tiers. I originally had them at like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I was doing it like $5 increments, but then I realized, I was like, man, you know, it just, because initially I didn't think they were that high. But, you know, because mainly it's just to support and, you know, help out the content creation journey, as you will. But then I thought about it more than then. I was like, dude, let me like revamp the whole thing. And I did like, what did I did? I did $1, $2, $3, $4, $5. So I redid the whole thing. And I was like, this seems more reasonable. But I still appreciate that. Thank you, Ryan. And Chase's War Bastion. Yeah. Cool. SCL registered. Dude, dope. 283. We'll go next. Yeah, they're M over P comparatively, yeah. Mark, never know why would an already big alliance recruit power for activity. Yeah. Kat says, can you swap back to the M over P real quick? Where does WB line up? Oh, no, you can see where their rank is already. They rank 50. You don't necessarily, I don't necessarily need to do that. So this is PvP activity rank. So this is where you rank on the PvP activity board if I was to filter it, if that helps. RFF has not registered yet. Let's go to 221. Cut out me. Yeah, Cat. Oops. You did it again. Get it together. Gosh. Cat says 50% more power is bad. I mean, it's not high necessarily. And keep in mind, this number, this is what you have to understand about this as well. This is from, this is based on the players that they have recruited and brought into the kingdom so far. This is where their new PvP activity percentage is based on all of the players' PvP activity percentage from last season, right? So this isn't like the number before people migrated there. This number is from people that have already migrated there, bringing them to their new PvP activity percentage that you're seeing, in case that puts anything into perspective. 21SW did not register, or not registered yet. Let's go to 225. Where are we? 225. Bum, bum. All right, that's 25 IW. We're going to take a look at next. Daddy Herc says 438 registered. Thank you, Herc. I appreciate it. I'm still going to check the kingdoms, again, for my own due diligence and professional courtesy, I guess. but I appreciate you telling me. Thank you. Hey, sweetie, you going to bed? Okay. Are you going to sleep or no? Sweetie, that's your sister. Oh my. Okay, love you. So 25 IW did register. Let me see. It looks like nice. So let's go next here. What do we got? RAY 266. All right, we'll look here. Yeah, so oh wait, let me see here. Yeah, Mark says 50 is low. Oopsie. Yeah, Kat says, yeah, it's still bad. Mark, if you check the data before people migrated, I'm 100% sure they had a better PvP percentage. So we can check that. I have data pools from earlier. What is it? Okay, let me see. Okay, there you go. Yeah, so we could check that. I can actually pull that up while we're doing this. Let's check Hunt 572. And we can see for ourselves on that too. Where's 572? So give me a sec here. I have one from... let me move this. Hang on, give me a sec. Let me see. I can check one from 122. Actually, I can check one from... I have one from 213 as well. Let me check mine from 213 and from 122. 213 probably is the better one, though. I think. So, yeah, let me see. And they're Kingdom 249. Let's check. So they had... Where is it? Okay, hang on. Here. So here it is from 213. They had 3552, 291,961 divided by 25,774, 016,377. No, so as of 213, this was 5 days before summary, they were at 14% or 13.78%. So they've actually increased. I wonder what it was at 122. Let me see. Yeah, it was lower on 122. Yeah, so they've actually increased. This was from 5 days before summary. So if they're at 13.78% and now they're at 15.48, they've increased by 1.7 or so. Yeah, so they're actually doing a little better.
So I'm going to say, give me a book.
Yes, I'll come read your book in a little bit. I'm on Hunt. Ooh, look, Hunt registered. Sweet. All right, let's check WAO. That's cap. Where's that? 92. No. Oh, sorry. Asa, what's up, man? RMP, what's that? So that's the rank for PvP activity, or the rank for merit over power, or merit divided by power. Basically, it's your PvP activity rank. So this makes it easier for you to say, well, WBA ranks #1 in power, but they rank 50 in PvP activity percentage, right? So that's how you would read this, left to right, if that helps. WAO has not registered yet. I think Doom said they did register in 110, but of course, you know, we'll still check. Yeah. Joe, what's up, man? Instant win for WB, maybe. Mark, I think it's a good thing to compare it. You can see it, what the R5s want more, how they're thinking. Well, this is the thing. So just to give an idea here, WB was around 26 billion power at the 13th, on February 13th, right? So this was 11 days ago. They were around 26 billion power for their top 300, right? They added in about 10 billion, you could say 9 to 10 billion more power, but they only increased their PvP activity percentage by 1.7% about. You could argue that for the amount of power they brought in versus the amount of PvP activity percentage that increased, there appeared to be more of a impact, more of a priority, I guess, if you want to say, on power versus PvP activity percentage. I think objectively that's fair to say when you look at the numbers that they brought in across the board. That actually would be, now that I'm thinking about this would actually be a really interesting way of, like doing a new video series on that, which is, what if we looked at all the kingdoms, like the top kingdoms, maybe like the A-seed kingdoms or something like that, and we looked at which kingdoms had more of a focus where the priority was power over PvP activity percentage or deads. We can actually do that across a lot of metrics too as well. We just have to look at like what their power was and what some of their numbers were before the season came to an end and before migration really ramped up, and then look at what it is now. We could do that. That would actually be interesting now that I'm thinking about this. Yeah. So was that? Oh, we gotta go to 60. I just gotta think about that. Yeah, let me think about that a little bit more. But I kind of like where I was heading with it. Yeah. Mark says, oh wow, they increased, damn. Yeah. Fried milk, mom, I'd like to kick. Drake, it's set, man. Thanks for the sub, man. Appreciate you. It means a lot. Kat says, all right, Ben, I'm going to hop off. Have a good night. Thanks. No, you too, Kat. Appreciate you hanging out with us. So it looks like 60 hasn't registered either. Let's look at 363. I'm going to do a few more here. Let's see. We're about, what, two-ish on the hours. And if you're just joining us, again, welcome. We are just going through and updating our news sheet as I did before, but man, huge shout out to Drewski, to Drew over in 509 playing with Illuminati, man. He's been such a massive help. Such an awesome partner in crime to work with on the spreadsheets, as of course him doing most of the work. I'm just essentially, I'm just the idea guy. So, yeah. Look at that, dude. Look at Drewski, man, giving us real-time support updates while we're going. what a kind soul. A kind soul. Even though we said no rush, you know, much appreciated. Yeah, man, it's been great. There's the graph too as well. I know there's still some kind of last few touches on it, but I don't know if we'll get time to show that off right now. But if not, I absolutely will during either the classification or one of the next streams that we do. And if you're just tuning in, Genesis, what's up, man? Welcome. If you're just tuning in now, like I said, we are going to be trying, if we can, to potentially stream maybe Thursday and Saturday, because those are like the next 2 big days, one for classification and then one on the team up phase. So classification will be the ABCD grades that the kingdoms get, and then also Paragon. So we'll figure out who's Paragon and which class grades people get, and then on the team up phase, we'll also be looking at who's going to work with who, right? So who's going to pair with who as well. So it looks like S60 did. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is Rage, I think, right? Yeah. So Rage, is it just me, or are we seeing a trend? It's like every other right now. Let's do 358 for pod. Yeah, Mark BN is the advertiser. Yo, man, gotta give love out. Dude, look at Drewski. Hi, chat. Yeah, man, always gotta show love, man. Where it's due. Gotta give credit and props where they are due, always, at all times. So no registration for pod yet. Let's check 345. Like I said, we're just gonna do a few more here because I know it's getting a little late, but let's see, 345. That's 345. Okay, yeah. So we'll go to like top 20, wherever that is. Yeah. But like I said, the plan right now is to try and if we can stream Thursday and Saturday so we can cover, like I said, the classification team up, probably around the same time, give or take. If I can maybe get on a little earlier, maybe 30 minutes or so before reset or something like that, that'd be great. But we'll see. We'll see how it works out. That's the hope right now. It's just been a busy couple weeks. That's why you guys haven't seen me been streaming that much. Just a lot of housework and a lot of stuff to get situated. It's just been a lot, basically spring cleaning. That's probably a very long-winded one. Mark said, I think you should check every second. Oh, I think you should check every second. You had to skip. Yeah, dude, there we go. Look at this. Oh, no, 345 hasn't registered either. So we got to go to ED, which is in 17. Look at that. So a double skip. Yeah, we'll check that. Let me see. What's up? Oh, did it do it again? Okay, there you go. Yeah. Oh, nice. All right, let's see. Oh, I guess I haven't been to 17 in a while. It's making me go through the process. All right, cool. Let's see where we're at here for ED to see if they've registered yet or not. After it makes me reload my account. How much fun when you haven't been in a kingdom for a while and it makes you go through that little welcome tutorial. Thankfully, it's short. It's not necessarily too long, but when you're doing these back to back, like I remember doing this last season when I had to go through a lot of kingdoms. Man, it was a pain. Just slightly. I think part of it was because I needed to level some of the accounts up to 7 or so I could get the Augur Stone, which allows for me to see where the KvK timeline is at for pass openings and accomplishments. So I know that was one thing we had to do. Wow, so ED has not registered either. And keep in mind, right, it's only the first 2.5 hours of registration opening. Let's go to 551. Yeah, I mean, I'd be more concerned if like we're 24 hours in and it's just, like if we're 24 hours in and it looks like this, I probably would be slightly worried at that point. But again, we'll still check. I'll probably do this now and then we'll probably give it, a full blown check once registration finishes, because I'm pretty sure we can still check who's registered after registration finishes, so I'm not too worried about that. Mark says, with this setup of 12 kingdoms in one KvK, so well, no, I thought it's 8, right? Isn't it 2 A's and 2 B's are on a team? And then, so it would be 8 for like the top KvKs, or the ones that have the least amount of potential kingdoms possible? Oh, I'm sorry. You mean for the CDs? Did you mean the CDs for 12? Sorry, maybe you meant that. So ACA hasn't registered either. Let's go to 30. That's 30 NA. We'll take a look at them. Let's go down one just so we can get to MFD. Okay. Oh yeah, you mean CDs? Yeah. It's a lot, man. I mean, you got to think you got 4 A's, 4 B's. It's just, yeah, it's a bit. It is a bit. But yeah, on the CDs, isn't it 2 C's, 4 D's though? Per, so it's going to be what, 4 C's, 8 D's? A lot of betrayals. It could be absolutely. It's miserable. Every day I log in, new enemy. It just switches. It like switches each zone. Each zone, it's new Diplo. They're like redoing Diplo. Yeah, that'd be funny. 30 NA has not registered either. Okay, last kingdom we're going to check here is MFD. They're in 77. Like a new. Nice. All right, let's see where we're at. MFD has not registered either. So at least as it pertains to the top 20, these are the only, we have 7 registrations in the top 20 so far. And I think when I last checked, there was 78. I think 78 kingdoms that had registered for where we are currently. I'm going to give it one quick check here as well. You getting tired? No? You getting tired? Oh, okay. Oh, all right, okay. I know, we're getting tired. I know. We're about to go. Let's see real quick where we at. So we're at 80 kingdoms have registered at the moment. Out of those 80 kingdoms, 7 out of the top 20 have registered at the moment. So yeah, I think this is probably where I will leave you all and bid you adieu so I can get my kiddos down right now. I'll just say kind of in closing, a couple final notes. One, again, as always, man, really appreciate any and all of you hanging out with us, especially those that do not mind being able to look a little bit more on the data side of the game, and especially what we show off covering a lot of the KvK prep. And hopefully we'll even try to cover more of the KvK wars and PvP happening this season as well, as I am pretty excited to try and ramp up some of our tools or utilities, as I mentioned, right, with the help of Drew and others, especially even flaming, right? Obviously, huge shout out to CallofDragons too as well, right? Being able to cover some of the migration movement. And obviously for Hero Scrolls, right, there's information if you guys want to check that out on the Discord. For anyone that does join the Discord, I should also note as well is that I have a link to the Discord. It's the pinned live chat comment on the YouTube chat. And that is also where I will be posting the public version of the spreadsheet, whether it's this one or another one, at the earliest once we get to the classification phase. And if you're interested in where that will be posted, well, it's posted in the same place that it always is. And I'll show that to you guys now. Let me widen this up a bit. You'll just go to reaction roles. You'll select CallofDragons, which is going to be this emoji, and it'll unlock the COD section. Then once this opens, you'll just go to COD data stats, and it's going to be here where it says KvK stats. And for those of you that are interested, I also have all of the historical previous KvK seasons for ones where I did a public sheet for. Those are here. So if you ever just want to go through those and peruse, you are more than welcome to. I'll probably eventually just make a folder and then just link to the folder. But for now, we're doing individual links. But this is where you'll find it. Probably in 2 days is where I'll end up having that. And then, of course, right, if you want to support the stuff. Ooh, hang on. I have to update this. Dear Lord, hang on. Let's do. Ooh, here we go. 1, 2, 3. 4 and 5. Oh, there we go. Solid. Looking a lot better now. But yeah, so that's pretty much everything that we got for you guys, man. Like I said, next time we're going to be trying to stream, as I said, might be Thursday and or Saturday for when classification's announced, and then next for when the team up phase starts. That is it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. So thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope wherever you are, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, you have a great rest of your day. And we'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Okay, say bye. Good job. All right, we out. We out. Hey, hey.